I am Jim Nelson, a patent attorney with the Schwegman Law Firm. Today I'd like to discuss with you starting your own technology company. I'd like to give you the 50,000-foot view for the essentials and pitfalls for such things as funding, creating your own bricks and mortars operation, people, legal consultants, and involving others. Let's get started. As a housekeeping matter for this presentation, I need to tell you that there will be 5 parts to this video, and you should click on each one individually as you wish to watch the entire presentation.
Okay, so first thing you're going to do, this is what all entrepreneurs do, is they ask family and friends for money. I have this great idea, and I'd like you to invest in it. And if you invest in it, what they tell me is I can create this close corporation, and I'll give you 30% of the stock if you invest in it, and I'll make you millions and millions of dollars. Well, of course, your relatives are probably going to be a little skeptical about it. Your friends are going to be more skeptical about it. They're going to want to know about the product, so you're going to have to tell them about the product. When you do that, you need to make sure that they've signed confidentiality agreements so that they don't go leaking everything to the whole world. Okay, so that's the first thing that you need to do. When you talk to others, you need to have them sign a confidentiality agreement. Okay, so you've talked to your friends and family, and they think it's a pretty good idea, and they're willing to kick in a few bucks, $100, $200, maybe even $1,000. So you wind up with a nest egg of maybe $5,000 or $10,000. That may be enough to build a prototype, composition or circuit board or whatever, and then you need to test it. Now, why do you need to do these things? Because the next step in the financing is this. Your friends and family are now out of money. You're out of money. You've run through the $10,000. You don't have your corporation set up, but you've demonstrated that your product really does work, and it's got an advantage that other products don't have in the same technical area. But your friends and family aren't going to give you any more money. So the next step is to look for venture capitalists. So you're going to look to these venture capitalists for funding. All right, and they have a lot of money, millions of dollars, $40 million, $10 million. They can put up that kind of cash. But in return, they need several things. Number one, they need a business plan. Number two, they need proof of concept of your product. Number three, they will go out and they will independently assess the benefits of your product relative to the market and what can be, how your product stands up against similar products or other products. Because of course, nobody develops products in a vacuum. Even the Bell telephone wasn't developed in a vacuum. So your products are in a market with competition, and that's one of the things that the venture capitalist will assess. Now, he may say that he'll advance you $10 million, and $2 million of that will go to pay for his evaluation of your situation. In addition, the venture capitalist will have certain requirements that he will make of you. In addition to the business plan, he will require that perhaps somebody on the board or some employee of the venture capitalist company be your advisor and be the CFO, be in charge of finances and so on. Okay. In addition, the venture capitalist will want a piece of the action. He was not going to give you a loan. That's not what they're in the business for. They want a piece of the action. Well, how much do they want? They may want 55%. They may want 60%. But like I say, 20% of $10 million is a lot better than 100% of nothing. And so you have to deal with this. Now, of course, some people may say, well, wait a minute. If I've got a proof of concept and the venture capitalist has done this study, or these studies, the Freedom to Operate study and the proof of concept investigation and study to show, yeah, this is a good idea. Why don't I just license it? I'll just take it and I'll license it to some big corporation. Yes, you can do that. And the venture capitalists sometimes will help you do that. Of course, you're not going to make as much money doing that. It's not going to be as fulfilling as the startup company concept will be, but yes, you can do that, and that's another approach. You can say, okay, I have all this information. I have demonstrated that this works, and I can license this to somebody, and then they can take it from there. Even if you have a startup company, that's often the point where you decide, okay, I'm going to sell my startup company to some mega corporation, and they can run with it and commercialize the product. Okay, there is one very important factor here in that situation, either where you've decided, no, I'm not going to go to develop a physical plant to start making the product myself and developing it and refining it. I'm not going to do that myself. I'm going to turn this over to Megacorp. Or alternatively, I am going to do the bricks and mortar work. I am going to have a startup company. I'm going to start developing the product. And then at some point, I'm going to sell my company to Megacorp. Of course, the second route will make you more money. You need an asset. You need a tangible asset in order to show that you've got this product tied up and nobody else has this product. And what's that tangible asset? It's a patent. You need to have a patent. That is your golden key in this situation, is you need to have a patent on your product. The venture capitalists will insist that you have patents. The Megacorp will want to see your patent portfolio, because when it comes right down to it, if you don't have a product that is already being sold and already has a history of marketability and profitability, the only real asset you have is that patent. If you don't have a patent on the product, there's no way that Megacorp is going to buy your product, and there's no way that the venture capitalist is going to make a big investment or make a second investment in your company. Here we are. We've decided to take the next step and go the bricks and mortar route. We're going to continue to do the development of the product. We're going to hire people. That brings in a whole other realm of considerations. So this is the next step.